NDRRMC. Is this an indication that the long name means it's a long road to rehab? I also see Bill Luz. Bill, and to everyone, good morning. Welcome to our visitors from fellow host countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Korea, and Japan. Welcome to our kababayans who are frequently visited by typhoons, eruptions, and earthquakes. Tuguegarao, from the cities of Tuguegarao, Naga, Surigao, and Davao who are here. Provinces of Cebu, Bohol, Isabela, Dinagat Island, Camarines Sur, Zamboanga del Sur, and South Cotabato, welcome. And from the regions of Bicol, Central Visayas, Eastern Visayas, and of course Mindanao. Welcome to all of us who are familiar with natural disasters. I took up farming in 2012. My first harvest of lettuce was in June of 2012. That was after being chairman of the Senate Agriculture Committee for almost 2 years. I told myself, unless I do farming, I will not completely understand the plight of our farmers. And so I took a leap of faith, went into farming. By 2013, when I stepped down from the Senate, after 2 terms, I went full-time as a farmer. I got back for 1 year, then I went back as Presidential Assistant for Food Security the year after. In my first month after returning to government, I said in a tweet, I tweeted saying I miss farming because I was back in government, and I said because in farming, the only SHIT that you have to deal with is manure. But that 1 year that I became a full-time farmer, I experienced firsthand the devastation of typhoons and torrential rains that our farmers and our fisher folk have to go through. Our farm is in Alfonso, Cavite. It's an upland town in Cavite, where we plant and harvest a variety of organic vegetables. Our main crop is lettuce and herbs. And in my small area, planted area, we can produce, on good weather, around 1.3 to 1.5 tons of organic lettuce. We also have native pigs. It's a holistic farm because up to 30% of your lettuce, actually, trimmings are removed because of spotting and fungi, because it's an organic crop. But that 30% goes to your organic pigs. As a private citizen then, I dedicated my life in managing the farm and attending to its day-to-day tasks. In August 2013, the farm was hit with torrential rains, 10 days of non-stop rain, which segued into a typhoon. From a harvest, average harvest of, as I said, 1.3 to 1.5 tons per month, I was down to 45 kilos. Same 30 days, same amount of work, same planted area. From 1.3 average tons, it was 45 kilos. The following year, in 2014, Typhoon Glenda came and we were hit. Alfonso, Cavite was hit directly by Typhoon Glenda. A direct hit. Around 500 of our banana plants were destroyed and uprooted. We have 3 greenhouses. 2 greenhouses were damaged and destroyed, and we lost 95% of our crop. And there I realized, exactly what, in these 2 instances, in fact the first time, exactly what our farmers have to go through year on year. And it gave me a different respect for our farmers and what they have to go through. It was heartbreaking. It was extremely difficult. Yet, and I realized, the farmer will not go to a corner and weep. The farmer will pick up the pieces, stand up again and plant. Because that's what he does. And because he loves what he does. That the farmers in the Philippines, unfortunately, is not loved back. And this is the tragedy. That the farmers in the country are the most vulnerable when it comes to disaster. And they're also the poorest in terms of economic status. It is unjust that those who feed us cannot feed themselves and their families. Truly, climate change, disaster preparedness is critical if we are, number one, to address the vicious cycle of poverty that our farmers and fisherfolk face, the most vulnerable in terms of sectors, and if we are to address food sufficiency and food security. Truly, a farmer has to go through so much, yet, as I said, he will not give up. He will stand up again. He will plant again. I recall when we lost all our crops, 95% of our crops when we were hit by Glenda, we also lost our seedlings, all 100%. Seedlings are critical so that you can plant again, so that you can harvest again as soon as possible. So seedlings had, well, before we could address the lack of seedlings because they were destroyed, we had to address debris management. We could not plant again because the debris was all over our planted areas. Trees were uprooted. Well, the greenhouse was demolished. And so you needed time to do immediate repair. So that will delay your ability to return to planting. Pretty much, we calculated from the time that we were hit by the typhoon up to the time that we were able to normalize our operations was almost 4 months. When you do your debris clearing, that would be perhaps a week. There was no power for around 10 days, so we had no water for irrigation. So that's another 25 days. And then you have to have your seedlings planted. That's another 15 days. So that's 40 days already. And then by the time you're able to plant, it takes 15 days before you transplant. At least this is the high value crop. This is not rice, which takes 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days from planting to harvest. That's even longer. So the challenge really is when the most vulnerable sectors are hit, what interventions are needed immediately so that these vulnerable sectors can plant again. Farmers and our fisherfolk, of course, can go back to either aquaculture or their traditional methods of fishing. But for the farmer precisely, the challenge is how do we give them the support so that they can quickly get back on their feet, plant, and quickly be able to harvest so that their incomes continue. And that's really a challenge. And that's why, in a sense, I gained a healthy respect, a new and healthy respect for what the farmers have to go through. And we're only talking about typhoons, which, by the way, on the average hits us 17 times a year. We also had the experience of facing pests, experience of lack of water during the summer, and the like. So these are all challenges that farming and fisher folk have to go through. And it is no wonder, without active intervention, without active support, our farmers will remain poor. In the Philippine setting, the average income of our farmers is around 23,000 a year from agriculture. The average age is 54, 55 years old. The average educational attainment is grade 4. And the average farm size is 1.5 hectares. There is no economies of scale. There is subsistence farming. And when subsistence farming faces calamity, that is a sure equation for a vicious cycle of poverty. It's no wonder why very few from the next generation of Filipinos want to go into farming, because you are being asked to take a vow of poverty without precisely the interventions needed. But farming does not have to be subsistence farming. Farming does not have to be, and aquaculture does not have to be, in our language, isang kahig, isang tuka. By the way, tuka in English is pecking. And I was just sharing with the manager of the hotel that it's going to be the year of the fire rooster. I said fire rooster, so that could be the year of the roast chicken. But what are we to do? In legislation, we have filed 2 measures that we believe will help address the vulnerable sectors in agriculture. One, of course, is the Coconut Levy Trust Fund measure. The Filipino coconut farmer is the poorest of all farmers in the country, earning lower than the national average of 50 pesos a day, actually, or 15,000 pesos a year from copra. Again, subsistence farming. Therefore, in legislation, we hope to use the current, there is 76 billion pesos of Coco Levy funds that is now in the National Treasury. If you add the assets, the non-cash assets, the Coco Levy fund, cash and assets would amount to something like over 100 billion. And we are putting in place the legislation so that we may provide value-adding, cocoa enterprise development, capacity building for our coconut farmers, to include support for intercropping. 80% of your farmers, coconut farmers, are into monocrop. When you're hit by a typhoon and you only have one crop, you are more vulnerable. So how farmers will then have to be given a diverse multi-cropping setup so that you spread the risk. In our case, as I mentioned earlier, while it is true that we lost 500 banana trees in the farm because of Typhoon Glenda, we also have coffee in the farm, and we did not lose one, not even one coffee tree when we were hit by Glenda, because it turns out coffee as a tree is more resilient. It is more capable of confronting strong typhoons. And so there you have a diversity of crops so that you spread the risk. We also filed, and that is what we intend to do to provide the necessary support for our coconut farmers. We also have another measure we call Farm Enterprise Management and Development Act. This is actually providing the strategy so that we can move away from subsistence farming and move towards farm enterprise management and development of our farmers, building capacity, aggregating farmlands, providing economies of scale, providing access to the markets, providing access to credit. For access to the markets, we will mandate that the national and local governments will allocate a portion of their development fund so that they can purchase directly from accredited farmers, organizations and enterprises, going around or exempting them from the procurement law so that farmers will have direct access to the markets, will not be worried about being strangled in the stranglehold of the middlemen. The farmers have difficulty accessing markets, have to rely on middlemen to sell their produce, and the measure hopes to be able to address that. Also, it will provide incentives for the private sector to purchase directly from farmers' organizations and farmers' enterprises. The Jollibees of this world, the McDonald's, the KFCs, all of these purchase agricultural produce. They buy chicken, they buy tomatoes, they buy onions, etc., etc. We will provide incentives so that when these conglomerates purchase directly from farmers' organizations, they will have the opportunity to perhaps deduct a portion of that purchase from their corporate income tax. The same goes for donations. If these conglomerates decide to donate infrastructure, a portion, again, of that, the amount can be deducted from the corporate income tax of these private sector entities, thereby channeling capital to farm enterprises and farmers' organizations and fisherfolk organizations, which will give them the opportunity to build their capacity. We've done this actually when I was chairman of the Senate Committee on Agriculture from 2010 to 2013. We provided support for farmers' enterprises and organizations, which led to, after a couple of years, the doubling of farmers' incomes, particularly our tie-up with Nestle Philippines for coffee farmers, and our tie-up with onion farmers with the Jollibee Foundation. Interesting enough, when Jollibee partnered with a farmers' organization planting onions in Nueva Ecija, their first yield was 60 tons in 2008, but by 2015 they were already harvesting 500 tons of onions. This is the key, I think. Partnerships between the private sector and government and the farmers and fisherfolk organizations, channeling capital, building capacity, building organizational capacity so that our farmers become more resilient, so that our farmers are able to level up, so that the ability to deal with these disasters will tremendously, increase. Ultimately, if we are to secure our food, if we are to secure the vulnerable, we have to secure our farmers. Again, in the Philippines, the huge poverty population is really in the rural areas. And the number one livelihood would be agriculture or fisheries. And so if we want to address poverty and we want to address the most vulnerable, we will have to level up in terms of farming, agriculture, as well as farm enterprise management and development. I congratulate the organization, the organizers of this activity. We would like to thank you for this opportunity. The Philippines is a disaster-prone country, and yet we have, at every opportunity, opted to rise again. We will not go to one corner and weep. We will stand again, we will plant again, we will harvest again, and we will not only stay where we are, we will move forward with partnerships from the private sector and government. I am sure that the future will be better than the present. Pleasant good morning to everyone, and maraming salamat.
Thank you, Senator Kiko. May I request Sir Butch and Doc Susana to please come on stage to present the Certificate of Appreciation to Senator Pangilinan. This Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Honorable Francis Kiko N. Pangilinan of the Senate of the Philippines in grateful acknowledgement for his distinguished and invaluable contribution as keynote speaker during the APAD Philippines International Symposium 2017 with the theme